What's going on, Pokemon Go trainers? Welcome to episode 183 of Lured Up, podcast where we take Pokemon Go way more seriously than we do ourselves. Lured Up is part of the Pokemon Professor Network, and today is Wednesday, June 23rd, 2021. I'm your host, Ken Pescatore, joined by my co-host, Adam Tuttle. Adam, hi.
Hey, Ken, how are you?
Dude, this has been quite the week of in Pokemon Go. So, I guess in regards to the game and the community, it's been wild. It's absolutely wild.
It's actually like trainers gone wild kind of
Dude.
Scenario.
Yeah, but less boobies and beads than...
That's what I was thinking, but I didn't know how to say it.
Dude, it is. It is. Everyone, everyone is unfair. A lot of people on Twitter lost their goddamn minds. Really though, it's we're gonna unpack it all because there's a lot to go over today, both from the news front and then also from just kind of the intangible community aspect of it. So there's plenty to talk about today. But Niantic's blog about the exploration bonuses, that's what was announced. That caused everyone to lose their damn minds. And Twitter is not okay. And y'all need to fucking chill. And we'll talk about it. And we're going to stroke the bear this week. We kind of toyed with this last week about, having a segment of positivity rather than like a bitch fest. So I think if there's ever a week that we could use some positivity, it'll be this week. So we have a really nice, warm-hearted stroke the bear that we'll get through, asking about Pokemon Go memories, positives, things that have brought you joy about this game. And we got some really great feedback. Tepig is our next Community Day Pokemon, which is good for a couple of reasons, and we'll get there. Shiny Corsola and Costume Pikachu have been released as regional exclusives as part of a regional-based event. Another thing that the community's pissed off about. And then finally, we have the details of GoFest Raid Day. That's the second day, the 18th. July 18th, second day of GoFest. We knew that this was going to be focused around raids. We didn't know who. Now we have the lineup and how it's going to all work. So we'll unpack it all as we get to the end of the show. But Adam, let's start with the exploration bonuses because, man, this is a significant update for a bunch of different reasons. And there's a lot of info here. So what I'm going to do is kind of talk through it, and then at every break point, we'll kind of unpack it a little bit and then move on, because there's definitely a lot of different stuff here, and it all has...
There is, but if there's
lot.
anybody that knows how to unpack it, it's you and I.
Okay, that's a good thing, because we're going to get through this shit. And I think that this is a significant update for a couple different reasons, and it marks a true pivot point back to adapting the game mechanics to outdoor and social gameplay. Like when COVID happened, they had to make this significant pivot to make it about playing from home. Now this is like the first time they're saying like, all right, y'all, it's time to pivot back. And it's also significant because the reaction to this announcement is unprecedented. And we've talked about negativity and toxicity in the community before, but this is like a whole new fucking level. And it's just bizarre the way some people chose to react to this. And we'll get to our feelings in a second, but I want to get through like a chunk of the announcement in detail because it's important, and then we can kind of unpack it. But look, this is how it reads, and I'll read it right from the release. It says, trainers, one of the delights of Pokemon Go is finding Pokemon in the real world, walking around, discovering new places, meeting up with groups of friends to raid or battle together. At their core, all of Niantic's games are built around the ideas of exploration, exercise, and playing with friends. We knew about this from back in the day when we had Liz George from Niantic on the podcast. It was like episode 96, so it was like literally, half of the podcast life cycle ago. We had Liz on, and she's like, yeah, these are the tenets of Niantic. It's the social aspect, it's the exploration, and it's exercise. Like there has to be like this connection to these core tenets of any decision they make. So they're calling that out here. And it says, as we said last month, how we all play changed a lot in the last 15 months with the onset of the global pandemic. This is like the first time they're like using the word pandemic, I think. But the onset of the global pandemic, we realized that we had to change the model for all our games. We could no longer take going outside and meeting people for granted. We learned a lot. Thank you for coming along with us as we continue to navigate through this together. Today, as some parts of the world are moving towards recovery, we're announcing, and here we go. Well, they break this out into three, I guess, headings, three different like areas of the announcement. It says, new exploration bonuses that make it more rewarding to play outside are coming over the next several months, including bonuses for spinning stops, playing in-person raids, and getting in those steps. Bonuses introduced last year that we plan to remove or change that were tested in the US and in New Zealand, followed by other countries and regions based on local conditions. Okay, so now we have new exploration bonuses. We've got bonuses that we've had over the last year that they're planning to remove or change. And then finally, we have bonuses introduced last year that we are planning on keeping, including first catch of the day bonuses, which honestly, I could, no big deal for me. Go Battle League and trainer battle requirements and more. So we have these three categories, these like classes of updates that they're going to be detailing here. Now, Adam, when you get this far, right, you read this far into the blog for the first time, how do you feel? And like, are you bracing for impact at this point? Like, do you kind of have like some foresight as to what's about to happen?
I think things are about to go back to the way they were. But like how I feel is that if they're gonna take back some of these things, like why not just make battling have to be walking to get extra battles in?
Well, there's a give and take here with all of these different areas. And I think that the walking thing for Go Battle League specifically, because the battling community has thrived, I think that outweighs them needing to lean on Go Battle League to be a core exercise mechanic. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think that...
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I don't... That's the most logical thing I could think of. And Go Battle League players are fucking, they're rough. So if they did this shit, they would literally fucking march to fucking San Francisco. You know that. So it's like, all right, we knew this was all coming, right? We knew from the beginning that this was coming. But that being said, does it even matter? Will it make any of this hurt less just because we knew? Like everybody knew, but now that it's here, it's like everyone's fucking panicking.
They're running around with their heads cut off like two Doduos.
Two Doduos, 4 heads cut off, or one Doduo?
No, one Doduo, but both the heads cut off.
Does each leg then try to run in a different direction?
And it just splits in half.
All right. Well, they go on to say that they're only going to remove the temporary bonuses, and I put in here in quotes the COVID bonuses. I hate calling them COVID bonuses, but when you say that, everybody knows what you're talking about. To say they're only going to remove temporary bonuses after GoFest in the US and New Zealand, stating they wanted to give the advance notice like they mentioned in the blog last November. So in the blog last November, they said, yeah, things are going to be changing, but don't worry. We're going to give you at least a month's heads up before we make the change. So now they're telling us, ultimately these things are going to go into effect in late July. So let's get the exploration bonus side of things rolling. That's what's coming at the end of July. Now this is like new stuff, new shit. It says you can get 2 free raid passes per day from spinning gyms. Okay, so our free passes per day from physically spinning a gym goes from 1 to 2. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty huge. Double the amount of free-to-play raids. Like, I'm sure, JC Picks is fucking psyched on this. Next, benefit from increased incense effectiveness while moving. More to that in a second. Guaranteed gifts from stops. That's great. And 10 times XP bonus from spinning a new Pokestop. They've done this before during Adventure Week, like maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it was legit. It was so fucking good. I remember I went up to Jersey City in right by the Holland Tunnel that goes into New York. Fucking flooded with stops. like everywhere, and they were all haloed, all brand new, man. I fucking crushed it that weekend. But these bonuses will end on September 1st, and they go on to say that some of these bonuses may stay rolling into the following season, and new bonuses may become available as well. I hate when they fucking do this. I'm going to be honest here. Because they're like, hey, these things are temporary, or hey, they end on this date, but they may last longer. It's like,
but they might have more stuff coming soon.
You know what I mean? Like, it just leaves that on the edge of your seat kind of like, it sucks. Because this stuff means so much to the player base, right? That they latch on to the mechanics of the game. So I just hate that this part of it is so left open-ended. I wish they would just say, like, on this day, that's it. That day, that's that. And then you don't have to fucking worry about, like, what are they going to do up to the last minute? And then it turns into a fucking, a fiasco. So that is what it is. But where are you at with these bonuses, Adam? Like the 2 free raid passes, the 10 times XP, all that shit. Like, how are you feeling about, like, them saying these are the new exploration bonuses? Do these bonuses make you want to explore?
It makes me want to actually try and do physical raids. If I've got 2 chances to go out a day.
How many of your free raid passes per week are you using right now?
Probably 2. If
fuck,
that.
Dude. Yeah, so you got to get out there. So, I mean, then will the extra pass even matter? Or will it motivate you because
it'll motivate me a little bit more, because it's like I can use 2, so it's like I can almost guarantee that if I see 2 1-star raids, I can go tackle them. Especially when they release something like new.
Is it like just free FOMO? Like, it's free and you're not utilizing it. Like, is that the motivation?
Yeah. Because 1, it's like, yeah, you get it every day and you can recycle 1. Like, it is what it is. But like, even if I held on to the 1, I mean, I would hope that you could utilize the 2 from the following day. So like, if you didn't use 1 of your 2, you could roll it and then have 3 for the following day. I would hope that that's the case, and they wouldn't change that because that would be ridiculous. But yeah, but long story short, you being able to go into a Wednesday with 3 free raid passes, that's like pretty gnarly.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't think you're ever going to be able to carry 3. I don't know.
No. I'm saying like you have 1 from the day before.
Or 2 from the day before.
No. Just 1. Because you can't carry 2 free raid passes.
So what's the difference than that being now? You carry your 1 over, then you get 2 more on that day?
Yes.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I mean, you can go into a raid day, or you can go into an event
with 3 passes. Gotcha. Yeah, that's legit. I mean, that's a perfect use for a raid day. It's like in my local area, there's plenty of people in that crowd that do 2 or 3, and they're like, all right, I'm out. They typically will use their free shit and be done with it. So that's a good point. Now, I want to dig into Incense, and we'll talk about that in a minute because they do give more details in just a second here. But how do you use Incense? Like, when you use Incense, are you typically stationary or are you typically on the move?
I have gone through them very slowly. I only use them if I'm doing a spotlight hour, a community day, or if I go running. Because I set the I place the incense right before I go for the run, and then I use my Go Plus and catch Pokemon while I'm running.
And the spotlight hour, you're moving around, you're on foot.
No.
Okay, so spotlight hour, you're static, you're not moving.
Correct. 9 times out of 10, because I'm usually working.
Okay. So when you go for your runs, that's the time you're doing like mobile incensing.
Correct.
Okay. All right. See, it's like, for me, it's weird. Like, I never use incense when I'm stationary, even with like the increased effectiveness. I typically, and I have 30 fucking incense on hand. It's not like I'm cheap with them. It's just I really only use them when I'm out and about, because when I'm home, I'm typically not able to play. Like, that's not my play time unless I'm like, in the bathroom or something. I don't know. It's just, I've always done it when I move. But the 10 times XP for new Pokestops, how far would you need to like go out to get to like a place that's worthy of like visiting to get the new stops.
Pretty far.
Yeah. And is that because of the rural nature or because you've cleaned everything up?
Both.
Yeah.
Because, like, unless I'm going to a brand new town, I've pretty much visited almost all the Pokestops, any place that I've ever visited.
Yeah.
See, I mean, with Wayfair becoming more prevalent and, like, there are new stops, like, I've seen them.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I don't know if I'd go super out of my way for them.
Yeah. You know, I'm lucky because it's like I've gone to all the major areas to play in my, in my geography, but I could still go 20 minutes out and find brand new shit. I mean, I could find brand new shit on any drive I take. It's just like off the beaten path or whatever, but I'm saying like a cluster of 30, 40 new spawns, like a new downtown or something like that. That would be fucking killer for this XP. Like you'll be able to fucking mop up. Like that's good shit. But all right, well let's go to the next category of bonuses here, and these are going to be the bonuses that they plan on removing or changing. And then this is the detail on the Incense. It says Incense will only retain its current level of effectiveness, so that's one spawn every 90 seconds, every minute and a half, when you're moving. So that's what we have now. But right now we have that same effectiveness when we're not moving. So if you're sitting at work, Adam, and you're running an Incense right now, you're still getting a spawn every 90 seconds. The standard is once every 5 minutes. Remember, like it used to be once every 5 minutes and once every 2 minutes. Then everything got stepped up to the once every 90 seconds. But now the 90 seconds is only going to work when you're moving. So when you're stationary, once every 5 minutes on a spawn. That's a big deal. That's like 3-to-1 spawns, even more than that, 3.5, spawns to 1 or something like that. So definitely going to have an impact, but from Niantic's perspective, and this being like an exploration thing, they want to get people out and go. This is the most clear-cut way that they could have said, we want you to go out and play, because they're going to truly reward you for going out, and then they'll still, give you a slight reward if you don't. Now the other thing to consider here is, I believe Incense, they're like still discounted. Like they used to be much more expensive. Now you get the big pack for 250 Pokecoins or some shit like that. Let's see if they raise the price on Incense. I don't know. I have no idea. But, I get this one from Niantic's perspective, so no qualms there. Buddies will bring you gifts less than they do now. Not a big deal. Okay. Again, encouraging you to go spin.
Yeah, I could do without the extra berries.
Yeah, spin your own stops. That's okay. And now, here's the biggie. I'm just going to read through it and then we'll talk about it. But Pokestop and gym interaction distance will be reduced from 80 meters back to the standard 40-meter range. And, yeah. And they also say that although remote raids have become an important part of the game, they intend to find the right balance between remote play and in-person play. And it also mentions that EX raids will eventually return. But let's just back up 3 sentences here. The Pokestop at gym interaction distance being cut from 80 meters to 40 meters. It's going away. And in the past, this is something that they've told us was temporary. Then they sort of told us it was permanent. And then maybe they didn't tell us it was. And then they're taking it away. Honestly, everything that they listed here in this entire fucking blog, right? It's fine. With the exception of this. And the majority of people feel this way. The thing that they're most pissed off about is the interaction distance. And I know some people are a little bit bent about the Incense, but the interaction distance is the biggest thing here for sure. So, how bad does this one suck for you? Like, is this going to directly impact your gameplay?
Yes.
And is it because of accessibility? Like, you just can't reach that Pokestop from the street? Or is it like...
Correct.
And is it because, like, in the rural area, the stops are more spread out?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're more spread out. They're closer to whatever that structure is.
And the structure might be like set off the street.
Yeah, like notably the graveyard. The graveyard is phenomenal right now because it's like the perfect distance, so I can hit them if I was running from the sidewalk. Whereas now I'd have to run into the cemetery and walk
Into
and
the
like
thick
run.
of it.
Yeah, into the thick of it.
Yeah. See, like for me, like when I'm in Red Bank and I'm walking down the sidewalk, I hit every single stop. So this is going to impact me greatly. It's more of a hindrance of convenience than anything else. But let's talk about Niantic real quick. What do you think Niantic's motivation was here? Because we don't know. We don't know the motivation. We just know that they want us exploring, they want us outside, they want us being social. So specifically to the Pokestop distance, what do you think was their motivating factor to say like, hey, let's fucking do this? Like, what do you think? What do you think they're thinking?
Money.
Okay.
They might have an item that increases the distance seen, or like, and it might affect Pokemon too. That's the only thing I can think of.
What if it's their subscription service? Pay $4.99 a month and get increased distance. Oh no!
Oh my gosh!
Everyone hates me. No, dude. It could in Jurassic World Alive, the game my son plays. I've been playing with him a lot. You know, shout out to Bumpy. It has a I think it's $9.99 subscription that you could buy, and I had it for Josh for like a year and a half. I paid for it, and it gives you an expanded like range when you're on the map. So this is a model that has been used in other games. So it wouldn't be completely far-fetched. So who knows if that's money, but that's interesting that you said that. Trainer Tips put out a great video. And he mentioned, well, what if the sponsored stops aren't seeing the same foot traffic anymore? Because if your Starbucks is a sponsored stop and you could spin it from, down the block, you have much less of a chance of walking into that Starbucks and buying something because you don't need to go there per se. I thought that was a pretty interesting point. I've heard, I think it was Lady Goobly Meat in the Discord saying like maybe this is about the in-game economy. Maybe this is their way of saying like, we're able to give our trainers so many fucking items that they never have to buy potions anymore. Or they haven't bought Pokeballs, or they haven't bought that. Who knows? Maybe it has to do with the economy. Now, my opinion here is I really think they believe that if there's less Pokestop interaction range, it will amplify the social aspect of the game by bringing people closer together when they play. And I don't agree with that at all. I think that to me, that sounds like, God, I hate to fucking say it like this. To me, it sounds like that's like Wall Street's version of why this would work, right? This is like the shareholders saying like, no, we need to, be a social, but they wouldn't necessarily say that. The shareholders don't necessarily care. That social does not equal money. So it's almost like Niantic is taking that perspective. And I don't get that. Because I don't think that this is going to impact the social aspect of the game at all. I don't think this is going to cause people to get closer together. The people that I'm playing with, we're already together. It's, I don't know a single person in this fucking community, creator, whatever, that can really understand why this is a thing. And that really sucks. That really fucking sucks. Because we just can't wrap our head around it. And what that tells me is the philosophies of Niantic are so far detached from the philosophies of the community. And I don't like that either. So I really don't know how to react to this as far as like the logic and reasoning. Like, Shit, man. I don't know. I mean, clearly this you agree this should have been something they kept.
Yes. There's
Right?
no,
Like,
there's
no
no
doubt,
reason.
right?
There's no reason.
Like, does every single other change, or whatever that they mention in the blog, does everything else make complete fucking sense? And then this one is like the odd man out?
Yeah, like the other stuff, it makes me want to to continue running. Like it means that like I was already doing something that was going to be impacted anyways.
A lot of content creators have talked about this. And, kudos to Trainer Tips for putting out a fantastic level-headed video. It's fantastic. It's great. And it's important to stay level-headed through all this. And we're going to get to those that haven't in a minute. But Alfindial, friend of the show, Ken, put a series of tweets up, and they're great. And it says the following. They're really good tweets. And he says, it's four tweets. I'm sticking to my philosophy when it comes to making outrage content. I won't be making some kind of how could you reaction video to the rollback of pandemic benefits. No shade if that's what you've chosen to do. That's totally a fair reaction. It's just not what I do and not the kind of content creator I want to be. I'm blessed to have more direct feedback channels I can utilize to pass my feedback on directly to those that might listen. If I'm not feeling the game, I simply play something else. And I'll jump, personally here. What he's talking about is, hey, Alfindial's in the Niantic group. So he's got a line. So it's like, yeah, he doesn't need to air it out to the ether. He could literally speak to the devs. All right, he goes on to say, I am disappointed the positive feedback they received on these changes did nothing to sway their decision to reverse the benefits. Those bonuses made the game more accessible and enjoyable for a lot of players around the world, and I'll continue to express this opinion. And this one is the fucking best. And he really nails it here. He says, it's become clear to me that Niantic has a vision for how Pokémon GO is supposed to be played, and they have little interest in building features for how it's actually played. I'm not sure this will ever change. Dude, let me read that again. Niantic has a vision for how Pokémon GO is supposed to be played, and they have little interest in building features for how it's actually played. I don't necessarily like they have little interest part of it, but this makes a lot of sense. How it's supposed to be played versus how it's actually played. There is stark differences there. Like, this drove home the point for me. I just don't think this is going to change anything. So, like, how can there be such a disconnect from the community to the developer with this? Like, this of all things. It seemed like, if anything, this was the most predictable scenario possible. We've talked about it for a long time. When they take this shit away, like we've always said, when they make you walk for Go Battle League, people are going to lose their goddamn minds. Yeah, but they're not doing that. But when they change that fucking distance, people are going to lose their fucking minds. And here we are. So, it sucks. It sucks. And what we could do is we could talk about it and be level-headed. I understand the intention of Niantic, and I want that too. I miss the social aspect of the game. It's like, you know what was amazing in 2016? Pokemon Go. You know what was great in 2017? Pokemon Go. 2018? Pokemon Go. Like, the game is great without these bonuses. Like, we definitely have become spoiled. It's just, the problem was, this one just doesn't feel like it would achieve their goal of becoming more social. And I'll go out there and say, like, I was, adamant. I was so opposed directly to Niantic. I was like, nah, this is not a good idea. It just, I'm sure it was a difficult decision for Niantic, and people are going to be like, no, it wasn't. And it's like, no, I'm sure it was. They deliberated for a long fucking time. We had tons of conversations about this. It's not as easy as you would think. Doesn't make it feel any better, but it's definitely not as easy as you think. All right, I digress. Last section of bonuses here, and that's the ones that they plan on keeping. Incense is going to remain 60 minutes. Go GBL, no walking. Remote QR code sharing will still be a thing. I have a good anecdote for that. And you'll still be able to hold 20 gifts, but they're actually increasing the amount of gifts you can open from 20 to 30. So that's huge. They close by saying, "Thank you again. The path ahead will have some twists and turns, but we're committed to being clear about how and why Pokemon Go will evolve in the future." So that's promising. So let me go back to the QR code thing. Remember when they first announced this and it was like the coolest thing? They're like, yeah, you'll be able to scan your QR code from wherever you are. Don't worry about self-tournaments. Like you could just scan their QR and do your remote battle. And it was like, well, how the fuck is someone going to scan a QR code remotely if they're using the device that they would need to scan it with and they can't look? Like, it just didn't seem possible.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
But this week, Monday night on our Zoom call, right? 2 times on the call did people exchange friend codes via the QR code, holding it up to the camera on Zoom and someone scanning through Pokemon Go the screen of the Zoom call. I was like, dude, we've talked about this shit for years and I've never seen anyone use it once, this ability to do that. And then twice in one night, it actually worked and we were all cracking up. I just thought that was a funny little thing. But, all right, Adam, we made it through the announcement. Half an hour. But we made it through the announcement. 30,000 foot view. What do you think here?
I think if they're going to roll back everything for the most part, I think Go Battle League is just part of it.
You think the walking is ultimately coming?
I know. I feel like it needs to come. I feel it's unfair to take distance away, but then for spinning stuff, but then say like, oh, yeah, no, but the Go Battle walking thing, like, yeah, we're just going to leave it as it is.
Dude, the fucking if they said that, if in addition to the interaction distance, if they said GBL you had to walk, dude, they're literally, the fucking Twitter would have literally crashed. Believe me, I was motivated as fuck to walk. Remember, I was walking 15K a day?
Yeah.
That started through Go Battle League. I wanted to do my 5 sets. You had to walk 3K in the beginning.
Sorry if I'm selfish. I just want you to get out there and do your 15K a day thing.
Sure. No, I don't care. I wouldn't mind one bit. If the walking came back. So long as they let us stack the battles. That was the one thing that did suck. Let me walk 15K at once and go home and do all my battles. But looking at all this shit, just on paper, do you see Niantic's vision? Do you see the purpose here? Like what they're trying to do with returning to the real world? Like, does all this stuff seem supportive of their mission to get people to be more social and outdoorsy again?
Sort of,
right? Are we just too used to it? Is that what it is? Have we just become too accustomed?
I think so. Because like you said, we've had 15 months of this.
But do you think it's because their communication about it previously has sucked ass? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, let's be real. Because
they're like, and more bonuses will not be happening.
Look,
more.
I'm gonna pull up I have 2 links here. It's Niantic Help Shifts pages talking about bonuses, right? And the first one lists a change log, and this one is dated October 2nd, 2020. It says, clarified incense effectiveness bonus, and then move the Pokestop Gym interaction radius to the Pokestop Gym section, as these bonuses will be available for the foreseeable future, but will not be permanent. So on October 2nd, 2020, they said they'll be live for the foreseeable future. However, they won't be permanent. All right, great. They told us that. But then there's a future page, a future Help Shift page that talks about Pokestops and gyms and, remote raid passes and stuff. And it just says, changes to items, features, and bonuses effective globally until further notice unless otherwise specified. So that's like a nice way of saying it's permanent, but maybe not so much. And then under that heading, it says, for Pokestops and gyms, increased distance, which you can interact with gyms and Pokestops. So ultimately, this means that effective globally, you have that increased distance from which you can interact until further notice. I guess this is the further notice. So honestly, we don't have a leg to stand on to say that this was a Sidewinder. It's just confusing. because the verbiage they've used has been like, for this foreseeable future or permanent until next notice. And it's just like they did in this announcement. All the stuff goes away September 1st, but maybe it'll stick around.
And
it's like,
more.
Motherfucker, it's like, son of a bitch. It's so confusing. So, all in all, the only thing that really chaps my ass is the interaction distance. And I don't necessarily need it so I can get to a stop that I wouldn't otherwise be able to walk up to. It's just a convenience thing. It's just a convenience thing. If I'm walking
so is
down...
it the not having to walk for Go Battle League? That's a convenience.
That's more than a convenience.
And don't get me wrong.
That goes against their tenant.
Literally, don't get me wrong. This goes to all the PvP trainers. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think that it's fair to take a part of the game that like we have that's so crucial to how we play and get resources if they're not going to put back pretty much all of it the way it was all launched and intended. And that's just how I feel. Not that I actually want that. I don't, of course, but it's just like, take it all.
Yeah,
take it all away.
And so in your, like, if you had to put a number on like your local trainers, like your usuals, your regulars, the people that you see at the raids on raid night or whatever it may be. I know you can't play those events too much, but like, how many people are there?
10, 15, maybe.
Okay. Now, do you think that these bonuses will bring out more people? Or do you think that you'll see those 10 or 15 people less? Like, or will this have a nominal impact on their social play?
I think.
Like, are they still going to come out?
I'll see them, and they will come out. But I don't know if it'll affect their play.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't. I don't know. Believe me, I want to get out there. Fucking Gibble Community Day was a perfect example. It was amazing. I'm seeing people for the first time I haven't seen in a long time. Everyone's outside. Everyone's fucking vaxxed. It was awesome. But I just don't know if this is going to do it. So it's the interaction distance just from a convenience perspective. But I think that the way we've discussed this and the way we're talking about it over the last 40 minutes is fucking perfect. It's level-headed, right?
Right.
It may suck, but we're ready to move on to the next segment of the show. You know what I mean? Like, okay, moving on. This is what we're up against. No big deal. So, not a lot of people in the community feel that way. A lot more people are more and more emotionally charged. And we've seen on Twitter that a lot of people are fucking mentally unstable. And now it's time for me to fucking put my fucking hat on, that's whatever it is, to go off on it for a minute. Because we've seen like the ugliest possible fucking side of this community over the last week. And it's a fucking shame. It's terrible. We've all seen people bitching at each other. I've fucking beefed with like Cochino Mom and fucking Poke AK, and we have fucking, it's just like the rap game, people beefing and shit like that. All right, whatever. And then you have people that just talk shit about content creators and the people that are angry and just dumb, whatever. We see this shit every day. But what we've seen over the past week is completely different. And before I even get to like that toxic madness, and I'm not going to like call anyone out by name, not because I'm like, not trying to hurt people's feelings, but more so because it's on Twitter. You want to see it, go fucking look. But I do want to discuss the current climate in the game, and I think that plays a big impact of where we're at. So for some, Go Battle League has been an issue from the beginning, right? Since it's been released. Niantic has made questionable decisions with community days and events like fucking Mr. Mime. The AR community has been impacted with like the, removal of buddy animations. Hashtag bring my buddy back. The latest build of the game is fucking brutal. It sucks. It's super choppy. It's got performance issues. They had that whole seizure-inducing flash thing that was fucked up. Now they, have softened that, but put this slow animation. Fast catching sucks. You can't skip through like, post-raid animations. Like there's a lot going on with the immediate present in the game and, the last year even while all this pivoting was happening. And it's like, I wonder why they're faced with all these challenges. Yeah, because they changed their fucking game. But there has been issues. So what does this lead to? This leads to a community that has a fringe segment that's like fucking perpetually on edge. Like just waiting to attack. Like this is how these people function on social. And it's not a lot of people, but they're loud. And they have reach. So that's a shitty combination sometimes. So with this in mind, I can understand why trainers are upset. But please understand where I'm at here with... I'm never going to tell someone to not be upset over a decision by Niantic. You can absolutely 100% be all upset as much as you fucking want. And fortunately for me, for us, there's a large segment of our podcast and social community that has proven that, they can be upset about it, share feedback about it, and never encroach even on the realm of being inappropriate. Ever. But that being said, I believe that the positive that this game has created far outshines the negative. Like, far. And never in a million years would I have expected this level of low from the community. And the amount of just fucking toxic entitlement, blatant disrespect, and just insanely hurtful things I've seen thrown at Niantic, and specifically Liz George. It's fucking baffling. I mean, to the point where Liz had to, deactivate her fucking Twitter. And why? Because these fucking keyboard warriors go on the attack on her personal account, which, in her bio, it clearly says, hey, this is a personal account. Don't talk fucking Pokemon shit. Here's the stuff. This is where you got to go to do that. But they come there and bitch. They trash. They attempt to belittle. They mock. They threaten. It's disgusting, completely unacceptable. And I know listeners of this show were in on that toxic barrage because I was recognizing some of the names from seeing people interact from Poke the Bear or emails or whatever. And I'm like, yo, this is a listener. And here they are fucking lashing out at Liz on her personal account. I'm disgusted. Wow. And we talk about here that we are connected with Niantic, right? So we are in touch with them every day. And that being said, I've worked closely with Liz George for fucking, 2 years now. And this, more than anything else in this game ever, this breaks my heart so fucking much of what she's going through right now. And you've heard about it with other games where the community implodes and has a direct impact on the development of the game because the people that are involved are impacted personally. And it's like, why would they want to be associated with a property that's going to cause them personal grief? If I'm a chef, right? I'm a cook, and I make a shitty dish, right? You're going to go into the kitchen and follow me to my car and bitch me out that your fucking noodles were bad or something? No, you're not going to do that. You might write a review. But in that review, are you going to threaten somebody? Are you going to, tell them that they're trash? Tell them that they're useless? That they don't deserve their job? It's like the shit was vile. And it's like everyone I've ever met that works in development, they all have thick skin. But some of this stuff was just so fucking unruly and uncalled for that it was beyond the scope of just saying I'll brush this shit off. Threats. Physical threats. It's terrible shit. Tear-inducing shit. It's so sad. Breaks my fucking heart. And Liz, who I've gotten to know very well over the last couple years, is honestly, personally, one of the sweetest fucking people I've ever met in my entire life. But professionally, I mean, not only being like an inspiration, but she is one of the most competent and talented people I've ever met. Ever. In my life. I met a lot of fucking people in a lot of different industries.
And she cares about this game and this community.
It's insane how much she cares.
And for anybody out there that works or anything, you can't pay somebody to care. That like is like genuinely from that person.
That's a good point.
No, like seriously, like I really like what I do, and I could be making $10 more or $2 less, and I would still give you the same customer service, like the same me, because I enjoy what I do. The money doesn't matter to me. I know to some people like that's hard to understand, but it really comes down to like how things make you feel. And it's like if you're working on something and you're very passionate about it, it doesn't matter. You're just passionate about it. You like what you do. You love what you do.
Yeah. And I wasn't sure how I was going to talk about this tonight. I was like, yo, I'm going to go on there and rip these motherfuckers an asshole. I'm going to, do this and do that and lose my shit. And it's like, yeah, that might make for good content. But it's like, I'm reading the notes. I wrote this the other night and I'm sad. I'm literally sad because this game has such an incredible asset and she's a leader. And we're going to attack that. And I'll say we, because what makes this community what it is the fact that we're all in this together. We're all Pokemon trainers. So for better or for worse, it is a we thing. I'm part of this community. These fucking savages are part of the community. So yeah, we. That's why I take it personally. Because it's a reflection of me.
Yeah.
And
it hurts.
It hurts. It sucks. And there's been some phenomenal positive support for Liz on Twitter. I saw a bunch of people using hashtag love for Liz. Let's get that trending. Let's push that. It's a damn shame. She's not even on fucking Twitter right now. Her job is community. Great work, everyone. You took
it away.
Yeah. You've literally handcuffed the situation even more. No one's happy about these announcements. No one. I haven't met one person that's like, this is all great.
I haven't said anything on Twitter. You know what I mean? I haven't bashed the game or anything. To be frank, I haven't updated my game. So I'm still on the last version.
Me too.
So all these other things that people are talking about, the only thing that I can say that like happens that's really an inconvenience with the previous version is like me clicking out of a Pokemon too fast and it like staying like a blank screen and not doing anything. But I just restart the game and it's fixed. It's not enough for me to stop playing the game. It's not enough for me to jump on Twitter and be like, rah, this is it. This is ridiculous. Like, there's just no reason for it. If I could just restart the game, it's an extra 2 seconds. It is what it is.
All right. You made a great point. It's not enough for you to stop playing the game. All right. So that line is going to be different for everybody. That line where they're like, that's it. I'm throwing in the towel. I've played a gabillion console games in my life, but all of them I was like, all right, I'm done at some point.
Yeah, for me, that was like Mega Man. Mega Man's always been that game I pick up, and it's like once I get to Dr. Wily, it's like, I have the password, I got to that level, but as soon as I die, I'm like, I don't even want to try again.
Yeah. So, one less kind of little mini rant here. And I think I'm doing a good job of staying cool. So hopefully it'll maintain, because we're almost through this bullshit. But I want to mention a sentiment that I see a lot from, like, I'll call them the quote-unquote the angries on Twitter, is they want content creators to speak up on issues and not sugarcoat things. Adam, I feel that we do that. Here's our honest opinion, for better or for worse. But here's the thing. If speaking up to Niantic means threatening an employee, then you're out of your fucking mind. I pride myself and this show on always speaking up about the issues of the game and the community and the company or whatever. But I can do it in a way that isn't disrespectful. And for those of you that can't act like a human on Twitter, y'all fucking disgust me. And shame on you, shame on all of you that would rather play a game every day that you clearly fucking hate, but you can't put it down. Shame on you for being so incredibly naive to how live service games actually work. Shame on you for building this false narrative that Niantic doesn't care, that they don't want to see their game succeed.
Imagine if they shut the game off and like disabled it for 2 days. People would go even crazier. People would lose it. I think people don't take into consideration that, like, I know for me, this game, when I'm like in a public setting, I know that I can open this up, see the area I'm around, and navigate using this game, and it like reduces anxiety for me. Like if I'm nervous or it just like takes me away. And we can't take that for granted. You know, like this game is more than just a game.
I agree.
I don't know how to explain it or what I'm trying to get across, but
I understand what you're saying completely. It is more than a game. It's a lifestyle. It's a culture. It's all those campy things that you could say about something like, oh, it's a fucking lifestyle. Well, yeah, it is. It is. Because I wake up, I go to work, I come home, you know, wherever I am, taking a shit, taking a shower, I'm thinking about this game. I love it. And a flashy screen or a laggy battle or, you know, reduced distance that we've, you know, didn't have for the first 3 years of the game that were still fucking awesome, I'm not going to let that prevent me from playing. But I will say to these toxic folks that if this free-to-play game that you play every day doesn't do it for you anymore, then do us both a favor and stop playing the fucking game. Because you're clearly only making things worse. But I'm sorry to rant so much, Adam, but I don't know. I'm just disgusted with the way they've handled things. Liz George is my friend. And it breaks my fucking heart to see what's happened. And shame on all you motherfuckers that were involved in that. It's disgusting. Fucking disgusting. You disgust me. I hope you stub your fucking toe when you wake up tomorrow. All of you.
Ooh, ow, ooh, ow.
All right. Sorry for ranting, Adam, but anything you want to add before we move on, since we're like almost an hour into the show?
There's a quote from Daniel Tiger that I used to watch with my son, and he gets embarrassed when I sing the songs. But it's, when you feel so mad that you want to roar, take a deep breath and count to 4. And I think a lot of people just need to take a deep breath and count to 4.
And for all you simple-minded motherfuckers out there that are into this toxic bullshit, it goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. So I, just want to put that out there in case you don't fucking know, because you have no intelligence.
And you have to take a deep breath.
I need a deep breath right now,
but I'm not underwater though, please.
No. All right. Well, Adam, I knew this was going to be a heavy segment, so I wanna balance that out with some positivity. And at the beginning of the week, I put up a Poke the Bear, saying like, hey, what's everybody think of this exploration bonus thing? What would you have done different? What are your feelings? And we got some great feedback. But for the most part, it was, and I don't mind being the catalyst to allow people to vent and to allow people to express themselves. I'll call them out if they're dickheads about it, but I want to give them that platform. I want to give them that opportunity to say, hey, here's a spot where I can let my feelings out about this. And, our community is strong enough here that we can talk about this rationally. That's the great thing about our community. But because of the current state of things and all the other drama, I don't even want to bring it up here on the show tonight, because it's got its place on Twitter. If you want to be involved in that conversation, you want a platform to air some shit out, go to our Twitter, look for the Poke the Bear, and go for it. But what I did was I switched it up a bit, and we have a nice little Stroke the Bear segment. And the Stroke the Bear says, gotta say, we're disappointed with the way some have chosen to react to the Pogo Exploration bonus announcement. So let's stroke the bear and share some positive feedback about the game. What about Pokemon Go do you love the most? Adam, help me out here. Let's get through some of these.
All right. First one's coming from Lachlan. I love every Tuesday night getting to spend 1 hour with a friend doing Spotlight Hour, and often then sitting down and trading with them after the hour's up. The reason this game has me hooked is the real human connections I've made. The play from home is a lonely way to play. Okay, that's fair. Augmented Naturally says, raiding, playing in person with friends, the amount of giving back to other developers, Lightship, Black communities and creators, and the small business sponsorship program for economic recovery.
This is, shout out to Augmented Naturally. This is a great point too, because again, these are just some of the transparent things that Niantic's doing. I mean, their Lightship program is like, Lightship is like the AR platform, but they're very, very supportive of developers and letting this, getting this toolkit out.
All right,
they've made exceptional commitments to supporting Black communities and creators, and all other marginalized communities. I mean, they're just so culturally and civically forward when it comes to how progressive they are with these things. So this is a really good one. I do like this the most, because it's true. Niantic is just they're a great company when it comes to that. They really give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. Next one is coming from Artemis Dragon. Before the game, I never just took walks. Now I do every weekend. It also helped me discover things that were in my backyard, like parks. Seriously, I never knew we had parks. Open your eyes. No. Next one comes from 3 Kids, 1 Cat. My absolute favorite thing is buddy assist when I've made a terrible throw.
Yo,
that is the best.
It's the best when you forget who your buddy is, and then you just see their neck stick out, like, oh, it's fucking like a slowpoke, coming out to hit it.
Mine's Garchomp right now, and it's like such an awkward looking head. It just looks like burp. We've got Clovis Mellow. The rebalance catch XP was a brilliant move. Rewarded for getting good at throws is an A+ move. And I've accomplished about 30% of my lifetime experience in just the last 7 months since it was released. And I'm a July of 2016 player.
A lot of people have said this. Their XP has really ramped lately because, of all the bonuses and the excellent throw, and people are putting in work recently.
Higher Fructose writes in, says, tagging your Pokemon is one of the greatest and most underrated features Niantic has ever added to the game, so I appreciate that.
Ah, yes.
That's a good one.
I love tags.
Have not utilized this at all. I need to so bad.
I love it. I probably have 20 different tags, at least.
Yeah, I need to go through and I need to do that. Next one's a 2-parter. It's coming from Carcass 8. Pokemon Go is still one of my favorite games. I've made a lot of friends over the years, and I'm excited to play as a community again. Saying this game rekindled my love for Pokemon is an understatement. All right.
That happened to a lot of people.
That's true.
A lot of Pokemon fans that were background kind of Pokemon fans, and then Pokemon Go came out, and all of a sudden they're back in it.
Next one's coming from Sealand Murphy. It gave me what every 90s kid ever wanted. I got to be a Pokemon trainer. I walk around in my real world catching Pokemon. It's also taken me to several wonderful countries I may not have visited otherwise.
I want to travel so bad.
I
Shit.
know. Next one comes from Abby Meisenberg. This game has made me go out and explore. I don't think I would have found so many things in my area without it. I've explored parks, went to parks because the Pokemon was nesting there, and I've interacted with a lot of people that I wouldn't have. This is true. This is same for me. A lot of parks that I didn't know existed exist.
Yeah. Well, but the people. It's like that was one of the coolest things when in 2016, like when all the people were out. You see like so many different walks of life, so many cultures, so many different ages. You know, it was like, yo, that was like my favorite shit, like finding that old ass dude or like that old couple that
you
were
just
playing.
Look at each other and gave them the head nods, like
that was the
you're playing Go. Yeah,
that was the greatest shit ever. He's like, it gets me walking. Like that's the greatest shit ever. All right, let me get through a couple more of these because there is quite a few. And yes, thank you everyone for all the feedback here, all the responses. Like, and I apologize if I didn't include yours. I mean, there literally was. This is probably half the responses, and there's a lot. So, thank you for this. And you know, positivity is good, but I'll get through a couple more. Hex Manifesto says it's cheesy and sappy to say it's been said before, but the best part about Pogo is the relationships formed around it. Specifically, the one that led me to my forever love and fellow AR photographer, Lay Snaps. So, Mythical Lay Snaps is they're a couple, so it's fucking cute as shit. Also, it's still amazing to see Pogo through the AR lens as it's intended. Even with the minor troubles Go Snapshot has, I've never had to stop seeing these creatures I love in my own world. And he posts a nice AR shot of a shiny Clamperl on the beach. Next one, Go for Big Fudge says, Go Battle League, despite its flaws, is what's kept me playing the game. It's an enjoyable, albeit sometimes frustrating game where you can improve yourself as opposed to just catching and raiding. That's a great point. GBL is really the only skill-based area of the game. Woodwoe's Wolf, two-parter, says, Before Pokemon Go, I didn't know the region I lived in that well. I was familiar with places I worked, shopped, and had visited with friends, but that was about it. Pigo encouraged me to get out and explore. Now I've hiked almost every trail, visited almost every town and suburb. I scoured maps and taken my time on strolls to find potential Pokestop nominations, learning about local history and culture along the way. Pokemon Go reignited my interest in hiking and geography. It's led me to places, people, and ideas that I would have never known otherwise. Yo, if that isn't a hallmark moment of this game, I don't know what is. And, you know, Woodwoe's Wolf, great guy. He's on the Sylph Science team. I had him on, the creator series. He's a patron in our community. He's on our Zoom calls all the time. And Adam, you can vouch for this. He's not bullshitting because every time he's on the fucking Zoom
he's
call,
on the trail.
It's like he's walking through a jungle. It's like weird animals like making noises like in the background. He's like, sorry, mate. He's like because the audio is on and there's like some bird like screaming in the background or something. It's like, it's amazing. He's like ducking under trees. I just love this. I love this so much because I know it's so true.
Indiana Jones movies, like cutting through the bush.
I know. He needs a fucking machete. I used to be like Crocodile Dundee. I'll probably get heat for saying that. All right. And then, we got one from Mythical Lay Snaps. Hex Manifesto's, better half here. Says, I'm obnoxiously excited for Bidoof weekend. I can't wait to get enough XLs to max out my 100% lucky one. And fingers crossed I get a little shiny god from my collection. So, yeah, Bidoof. That there is some awesome shit on the horizon. But,
Can you put the sound it makes?
The Bidoof sound?
Yeah, like right.
That's the best noise ever. It's the best cry. It's like, it's so good. It's so fucking good. All right. One more. I guess we could do one more bit of news before we take a break. I know this is going to be a long ass episode, so we'll get through this quick. Tepig Community Day. That's going to be our next Community Day. Has been announced. Tepig. And Tepig will be appearing more frequently in the wild. Saturday, July 3rd. Evolving a Pignite into Emboar will allow it to learn Blast Burn. I'm not sure how it will fare compared to other fire types. There's going to be snapshot surprises, a Community Day box with 50 Ultra Balls, 5 Incense, 5-star pieces, and an Elite Charge TM. The $1 optional special research story called Roasted Berries will be available in the shop. And the bonuses will be Triple Stardust. That's
Triple
awesome.
Stardust?
But get this, 3-hour Incense and 3-hour Lures. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Do this for every fucking Community Day going forward. Yes. Adam, do you think this means that the Community Day schedule is going to revert back to like what it used to be, alternating like months of starters and then like an oddball Pokemon? Like we had Snivy. Like, what do you think here?
I hope so.
Right?
It would
like
be a welcome
yeah, I agree.
action being taken.
Yep. And what about Tepig at large, though? I mean,
I'm excited. I'm excited for a pig.
They're good-looking shinies.
Yeah, and I already have 100%, so when the event ends or whatever, I can just Elite TM.
What's your Stardust situation right now?
Oh, I just spent it. I'm pretty sure I spent some earlier today. Let me check. I have to load the game.
I was sitting at like 15 million for a while, and now I've just been on a like every single fucking 100% I get, I power up. I'm getting like I purify fucking everything, even the 5,000 Stardust purifications. So it's like I'm down to like the low 12 millions right now.
The low 12 millions.
The low 12 million.
I'm at 38,000.
Oh my god, that's so crazy. That's so funny. I spent 240,000 Stardust on a 100% Pidgeot. Like all at once, all the way up to level 50. But damn, like one fucking shot. It was so funny. What's going on with PvP, man? Have you played?
Yes, I've been playing. Hang on.
Okay. All right. Good.
Oh man,
I haven't been playing.
I'm at 1 of 5 battles right now. What level am I at? I'm at 16.
Okay, you're creeping. So you're going to be able to hit 20.
Ultra's are really hard for me. I'm literally using 3 Pokemon and that's it. And it's like I either win,
me too,
or I lose like 4.
Yeah, if I get 2 wins out of 5 in Ultra, it's highly successful for me. Like I'm excited. I did so well in Great League, and it's like I don't want to fuck up my 60% win ratio. It's
well, once Master League hits,
yeah, that's
the
where I wake up.
Bit that I need for my level 44 requirements.
See, but the challenge there is going to be the XLs. So that's where unless you're playing in Master Classic, got to be careful because. You don't want to face off against fucking level 50 shit, maxed out, best buddy, level 51. You get fucking murked. Anyway, all right, I guess we could take a break now, since we're like over an hour into the show, and we still have some other shit to talk about. All right, let's catch our breath, take a break. We'll be back right after this. And we're back. I haven't done a long and we're back in a long time. But yeah, we're back. This podcast is powered by Patreon. Please check ours out over at patreon.com/Pokemon Professor, where you can support this show for as little as $1 a month. And that $1 will get you access to our patron exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people. And all patrons are eligible to participate in our monthly PGO and TCGO prize tournaments. Registration is in the Discord, and we hope to see you there. We got our Venture Cup going on right now for Sylph. Huge thanks to our gym leader patrons, Absolutely Ryan, Dig Dug Rob, Grant, Jamal, JD Mojo, Jojo, Magikarp DM, Paul, Sharkfin, Talon, Tish, and TN Comics Wiz. And a huge shout out to our newest patron, Andrew, for joining at the Discord tier. And of course, special thanks and a lot of love to our executive producer, Paul Bott. Paul, thank you for being the rock. And if Patreon isn't your thing, there's still a couple other ways you could help us out. If you're listening on YouTube, you can subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and if you're listening via a podcast service like Apple Podcasts, you can take a moment to leave us a review. Finally, merch store is available, PokemonProfessor.com/merch. All right. Actually, this came up pretty late, but I wanted to include it. We had a really nice post because, we were kind of talking about the situation in our patron Discord about, the same stuff we talked about previously on the show, just the community sentiment, what people's thoughts were, the feelings. And Joanne put up a really nice post and, asked that we talk about the stuff. And I was like, hell yeah, you made some great points here. So I'll just read this as if it was an email, but it's actually a Discord post. It says, I'd like to make a comment on this if I may. Nearly every content creator I've heard or read in the last few days has said the same thing. You don't need to reach the 99% of us who are doing the right thing. And I'm not sure that the 1% are listening to my podcast or are going to change their mind afterwards anyway. Could you spend some time following up on these questions? And she lists 4 different things here. Number 1, where is the official place to give feedback to Niantic so people know they are being heard and don't resort to using staff members' personal accounts? Great point. So there's actually 2 places you can go to share feedback. One is going to be in-app. So you would go through the settings page. You can get support. Scroll down to the bottom, hit get support, and open up a ticket. It kind of works like a chat. Once you'll have some automated prompts. You could put in your complaint, whatever it may be, your feedback. May not get an immediate response, but someone will respond to you, and you can see the back and forth there. You'll get like the automated bot shit, like, was your issue resolved? And you can say yes or no and continue the conversation. That's a great way to do it because you can literally go back and forth with someone in support. So this is what I kind of encourage. And then there's also a spot on Niantic's web, like help site, to actually submit a form online, which is also another way to directly speak with them. So there is a spot online and there's a spot in-app. I'll link to the form online so you have it, and I'll link to another page that actually details how to do it in-app. So if you have any questions, the instructions will be in the description. Number 2, we kind of answered. It says, why doesn't Niantic have a single spot to receive feedback? For example, comments on the blog. Same shit. I mean, comments on the blog, that's more of like a social thing. You could always write to Niantic support on Twitter. For more technical issues with the game, I would use the 2 methods I mentioned, the in-app support tab or the web form. Number 3, the community reaction to this was entirely predictable. What could Niantic have done better in its communication or choices to ensure its staff members were protected from this? Well, first, I agree this was predictable. Like, Adam, you obviously knew, like, when this news came out, shit was going to go haywire.
Yeah. Yep.
So, before this happened, I, in talks with Niantic, I knew this was coming. And as soon as, like, those talks started happening a couple weeks ago, whatever it may be, it was like, oh, here we fucking go. Strap in. This is going to be a rocky road. What could Niantic do to protect their employees? Nothing. These are not professional accounts. These are just their personal Twitter accounts. These aren't official accounts. This is probably why they don't have official accounts, unfortunately. So there's really not much that can be done. They could provide support for the staff indirectly and say, like, hey, y'all need some fucking therapy to get through like this? Here you go. They could do stuff like that. But I can't really see them doing anything to protect their employees because they're getting attacked on the personal side. So I don't know. And 4, why is there still no response from Niantic about any of this, leaving content creators to fill the gap and the community getting more and more frustrated? Of course, I don't condone any of the behavior you're referring to. Obviously, I was talking about the toxic shit. I just think it's worth discussing some of the systemic issues rather than giving people who are doing the wrong thing even more airtime. I agree. That's why I'm not mentioning any names. But systemically, I mean, this is literally, it just, as a 43-year-old parent, I look at all this shit going on and I'm like, this is the result of bad parenting. That's like literally what I tell myself. Because, I don't know, Adam, what do you think? This is just like, is it a reflection of who these people really are?
Listen, all that comes to mind is a TikTok from, I think it's like Scott Seiss, and it's like he talks about like customer service stuff, and it's like, you'd like to speak to the manager? He goes, I'd like to speak to your mother and ask her how she raised somebody to act like a baby in public. And I'm like, that's so true. That's like all this, like, stop acting like a baby in public.
But like, this is bigger than just like someone being upset at the game. Like, this is the systemic issue really just comes with them as people, because this is not normal. Like, it takes someone that really doesn't give a fuck about things to blatantly threaten someone on Twitter.
Yeah, there are humans working on this game.
Yeah.
There are humans podcasting about this game.
Yeah.
There are humans uploading YouTube videos playing this game.
Yeah.
There are humans playing this game.
That's the thing. People don't give a fuck. And if they just don't care, that's when it's a slippery slope. Because they're not holding themselves accountable in any way. They're not, holding the fallout or the trickle down from their actions in any way. I've seen people on Twitter bashing Liz directly, retweeting Liz, and then in the comments of their own retweet bash, say like, I don't condone being mean to any of the employees. It's like, what the fuck? What? And then it's just like, yo, you can't reason with these people. They're out of their fucking minds. They're just out of their minds. They're not normal. Can't do it. Can't do it. So these were all, Joanne, these were all great topics. I mean, if you've got an issue in the game, contact support. Get a conversation going. Yes, on Twitter, it's a different beast. Tag in Niantic support. Oh, I lost my raid pass, and we've made jokes about it on the show. Sorry to hear that, trainer. Make sure you have a good, a stable connection. Yeah, we're not talking about that. We're talking about submitting a ticket, a support ticket. It's formal. It's not just a tweet. All right. Well, Adam, we've got 2 more announcements here. This next one will be pretty quick, and unfortunately, this is another thing that bothered people. But luckily, it kind of got brushed under the rug with, because of the bigger stuff. But this is the Pokemon Company announcing a new initiative in Japan called Pokemon Air Adventures. And it's designed to celebrate travel to Okinawa, Japan. I always wanted to go there because I'm a big Karate Kid fan. I've always wanted to go there since I was a kid. I would love to go. There's going to be a special Pikachu available wearing an Okinawan Karayashi shirt. I don't know if I'm saying that right. So we have our first ever costume regional. It's going to be available for over a year. So it's also time gated, even though it is over a year. And they promise to release more regional costumed Pokemon in the future. And then as part of the announcement, Shiny Corsola will also be released on July 22nd, wherever Corsola is available. This is kind of, we've seen this before with Mr. Mime and Mime Jr. There's been regional shinies before, Kangaskhan, there's events like Go Fest, Kanto Tour, shuffle them around the world. So I'd imagine eventually Shiny Corsola will be an event Pokemon. That makes sense. So if you can't get it now, whatever. But the shirt Pikachu, hey, little FOMO here. Little FOMO, not going to lie. So, Adam, Are you bothered, one, by shiny regionals, but more importantly, are you bothered by costume-based regionals that outside of trading, the realistic thing of us getting to Japan is low, but like, does this bother you that the only chance you're going to have to do this is to trade with someone that's been there, which, the odds of that are going to be pretty fucking low?
Yeah, no, I don't care.
I'm
just glad that the costume's not near me. I don't want a Pikachu that's gonna fill up my box even more. I just got more storage. I don't need to like cry over storage.
Oh shit! I'm steady at 4,500 Pokemon, dude. It doesn't stop. Niantic, I need 5,000 storage. Oh, that's great though. So you don't care. So I care. Not that I'm upset, but it's like, oh, what does it make me feel? It makes me feel like I want to go to Okinawa. That's the point. And them saying that they're going to release more of these, it's just a matter of time before your regional gets a costume, and then you'll be able to benefit it, and everyone else can, go cry.
I like that.
Maybe we get a Tauros with a bow tie or something in the States.
God, please no. We get Tauros with like a USA, like the flag, like a superhero cape.
Oh shit! Oh, that's funny. But again, community was upset about this. How dare you? I'll never be able to fill my collection now. Again, the entitlement.
If you're that worried about it, just spoof.
Oh, Adam, Jesus.
I'm worried about everything. Oh no, or just pay somebody to like take over your account and they can spoof for you.
How dare you? How dare you?
Well, I mean, they should just stop playing the game, really.
There you go. Sold. All right, we got to get through this last bit of news here. Pokemon Go Fest Day 2, the raid day. We've learned that the second day, we've already known the second day of Go Fest is raid focused. But now they're saying every legendary Pokemon discovered in Pokemon Go will be available to raid on Go Fest raid day. I'm going to put an asterisk next to that for now. They mentioned it may be difficult to catch every legendary during the day, so they are breaking it up into 4 separate groups in 1-hour groupings that will rotate twice in the 8-hour event. We've seen this before, where they have the different hours of themes. So from Go Fest Day now, 10 to 11 a.m. and also 2 to 3 p.m. Wind Hour. Mewtwo, Ho-Oh, Latios, Regigigas, Altered Form Giratina, Cresselia, and Therian Form Tornadus. This is going to be fun as shit, seeing all these legendaries. So we do know that there will still be 1 and 3 star raids popping on raid day, but they'll be low in volume. From 11 to 12 p.m. and then 3 to 4 p.m., you have Lava Hour. Moltres, Entei, Regirock, Groudon, Heatran, Reshiram, Therian Form, Landorus, and Yveltal. From 12 to 1 and 4 to 5, you have Frost Hour. Articuno, Suicune, Lugia, Regice, Kyogre, Palkia, and Kyurem, plus Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf in their respective regions. And then finally, from 1 to 2, and then ultimately 5 to 6, we have, this was like, what was this, Thunder Hour or something? Zapdos, Raikou, Registeel, Rayquaza, Dialga, Therian Form, Thundurus, Zekrom, and Xerneas. And there's a small disclaimer. No mythicals and certain forms like the incarnate forms of, the incarnate forces of nature, also Armored Mewtwo, nowhere to be found. So there's my asterisk. So they say every legendary, but it's really not every legendary because some of the forms aren't included. You could say all right, yeah, there's, every legendary, Mewtwo. Mewtwo will be there, but not Armored Mewtwo. The vlog also rundowns the other Go Fest shit that we already knew about, the 10,000 extra XP per raid, the raid passes, all the free shit, all that stuff. But Adam, we kind of figured Niantic had something up their sleeve for the raid day of Go Fest. What are your thoughts on this lineup? Anything you're going to go after? Is this an opportunity for Candy XL, for what's going to be your plan of attack?
Palkia, Dialga are the two that I haven't gotten really any of, so those are going to be my targets. Also, I have 100% Lugia, and it's been a while since we've gotten Lugia, so I need the XL candy for Lugia.
Nice.
And then I believe it's Latias that I'm still missing the shiny. And then the last one that I'm excited for is Kyurem.
Okay. Yeah, I think what's going to make this fun is going after specific stuff. Obviously, the invites are going to be flying all over the place. There's going to be raids all over fucking town. So, having a pool of 8 or 9 different Pokemon that could spawn in that hour, yeah, it's going to be tough to do a lot of stuff. So you're really going to have to focus in. But I'll probably go for the Pokemon that I don't have the shinies of. which is a lot. I don't have, a lot of these I'm missing. I got the shiny Regigigas, but I don't have any of the regular shiny Reggies, none. There's plenty that I need. But like you, I have a hundo Xerneas. So, yeah, I'll take some fucking candy for that shit. But I love this. I think this is going to be fun. Over the course of the 8 hours, remember, we're getting 21 free raid passes between regulars and remotes. It's going to be fun. I'm pretty excited about this. I mean, is this... Obviously, this is better than Team Go Rocket, like last year.
110%.
100%. So, yeah, can't go wrong there then. But Adam, I think that's it, man. I think we can wrap it up.
Well, didn't you say, there's like Niantic had something else up their sleeve as far as like for the raid day? I think would they be like unlimited parties? Can you just have 100-man raids?
Oh, can you imagine? That's like the original trailer, the original Times Square battle with Mewtwo when all the trainers are playing against it, That would be fucking wicked. I can't see them unveiling that at GoFest. That's too risky. That's way too risky. Yeah, remember at GoFest 2019, those weird stress tests they did where they grouped all the raids on top of each other and had everyone battle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would be fucking badass if, like, the evolution of EX raids became this remote thing that 100 people could go in. That would be fucking amazing. That would be so cool. I digress, because I don't have interaction distance. I'm just kidding. I don't give a fuck. No, I really do. I don't know. All I want to say as we wrap up here is, please express yourself. Let your feelings out. Share what you feel about the game. Share it in a way that's constructive. Or don't, but just don't be a dick. That's my rule. You want me to be cool with you? Sure, I'm an amicable guy. You want me to be cool with you? Don't be a dick, and we're good. So that's my best bit of advice here. It's like, share your thoughts, share your feedback. For better or worse, just don't be a dick about it. Because there's no need to go about it like many in the community have on Twitter. And, yeah, I'll say it again. Shame. Ring the fucking bell. Shame. Terrible. Terrible shit, y'all. But, I don't know, Adam. I believe that's it. I think we can wrap it up.
All right, let's put a bow on it.
All right, y'all. One last thing before we go. I do want to give a shout-out to our show supporter tier patrons. Ace Trainers, Adrock, Alex, Andrew, Brian, Brittany, Chad, Carol, Chris, Cody, Eric, Garrett, G-Stacks87, Griggle788, Harry, Heracross Boss, James, Jason, J. Mackle, Justin, Canto, Cody, Ken, Lynchbot, MD, Mike, M. Pitts, PokeNabBot, Purple Pancakes, Ricky, Sam, Smeatwad, Todd, The Noise, and Woodwose Wolf. Thank you all so very much for your support. You can email us, info@luredup.com. You can leave us a text or a voicemail, 732-835-8639. Pogo Amigo, Texas, sorry we couldn't get to your voicemail last week. It got cut off because it was long. You made some fantastic points there. If you want to call back and try to squeeze it under 3 minutes, that's the Google Voice limit for voicemails. But we do appreciate, when everyone calls in or writes in, it's fantastic. But Adam, I do believe that's it. We can officially put a fork in it.
All right, it's very tender.
All right, keep training, trainers. Stay positive. Be nice to your fucking neighbors. Don't be a dick. And we'll see you next week.